It's Madden NFL 22, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bucs and the Colts, and it comes your way next.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Sanchez on to get us started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Time to see what this Tampa Bay Bucs offense has in store. They're led by the now 7-time Super Bowl champion, the MVP of Super Bowl 55. Charles, it's Tom Brady.
After 2 decades in New England, a change of scenery, and another tremendous season culminating with a Super Bowl title. 40 touchdown pass in the regular season, and most since his record-shattering 50-touchdown season of 2007 in New England. He did have minor knee surgery in the offseason, but he said he's sticking with his plan to play beyond the age of 45, which is still 2 years from now. Look out at
touchdown, Tampa Bay! Mike Evans, 75 yards, and the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, I mean, Mike Evans has been an elite receiver for some time now, and part of that, Charles, certainly what he can do once the ball is in his hands.
And that should serve as a big warning to this defense. They know now that they have to stick close to these receivers because they have the ability to break games wide open after the catch, and that one wound up in the end zone.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch.
Extra point put through by Succo, and that makes the score 7-0. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
Now Pinion with a kickoff honors following the touchdown. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Indy offense making their way out, and it is Jacob Eason from Washington at quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
That one, 28 yards on the ground. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
On 2nd and a couple. Eason. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The surprise 2nd-round pick, Sean Bunting there to get a hand in. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Well, when you got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone, hopefully on his next carry.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Taylor will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
DeForest Buckner, all-pro defensive tackle there on the stop.
Brady going to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
We keep waiting year after year to see signs of Tom Brady's arm strength deteriorating, but his message there, keep waiting.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to next-gen stats. Wow.
Suck up for the extra point. he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage.
And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Eason in trouble, and down he goes. How about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they called the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. Taking it right down Broadway. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Blankenship on for the PAT.
Now we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Back now comes Tampa Bay.
The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Well, that's complete. It's Chris Godwin.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And Chris Godwin, one of those great unselfish players. Remember, he gave up his uniform number to Tom Brady when he got to town. He's kind of known as the 1B to Mike Evans 1A. In this Tampa Bay pecking order among receivers, he makes a nice catch there.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. That throw by Brady, incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down. Now Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time. Wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Brady gives this one off to Jones.
And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away.
Back deep for the Colts, Naheem Hines.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
1st and 10, Eason.
Oh, Pascal able to haul that one in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They give him a gain of 37. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position, almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Eason going to throw it out of the shotgun.
Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle in the final seconds of the 1st half.
And the Colts have taken the lead here in the final stages of this 1st half.
So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just have the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And the lead is now 21-14.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this 1st half as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the 1st half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong 1st half from our quarterback. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the 1st half for the Bucs. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did, and that just set them up well for the 2nd half to come. Both teams making their final preparations for this 2nd half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. 2nd half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football.
Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the 3rd quarter.
Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Eason and the Colts now with a 1st and 10.
At the 20.
They'll start with a give to Taylor.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
From the gun is Eason.
He's got Jack Doyle. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's 2nd down.
Ran the perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way down to the 7-yard line.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor.
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. He talked about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT.
He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. To return is Jadon Mickens. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Brady. There's Evans again, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And Mike Evans has been the model of consistency and excellence. 7 years in the league. He's been a 1,000-yard receiver 7 times, the first guy in league history to do that. And he makes another catch there for a first down.
On first down, Brady. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Taking the lead, brings up 2nd and 2.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. 2nd and 2. To throw, it's Brady. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. Gronk's first catch, good for a first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's got room. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand the field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. To throw is Brady. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
To the right side, complete to Miller. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now Brady got to have this one. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bucs have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Now Pinion with a kickoff honors following the touchdown. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
He's going to keep this again.
And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Taylor.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Again, it's Taylor.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Now Eason.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Here's a throw caught by Gronkowski. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Back to throw, Brady. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 18. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves a stick. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 30, 10, 5, and this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Well, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Blankenship out for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
The return is Mickens. And able to get this out to the 25.
Tom Brady in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns, 37 seconds to go. And a 4th down stop, the first of a series of events that will need to break their way, but bottom line, they're still alive. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. That is caught, it's Chris Godwin. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. From the gun, it's Brady. That one goes for 30 yards. This is caught by Evans. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.